Hey, Porter, I asked you yesterday kind of about in Waco getting down, staying calm, keeping the offense moving. What was kind of your message to the team? Did you reference that at all about the under 12 time out there in the second half? As I would say, they kind of gone on a little run.
We didn't reference the Baylor game at that point, but we talked about, man, good possessions. You know, we got to keep guarding, but we need good possessions. You know, when you get down like that, you want to chip away at it. We said, hey, next 4 minutes, let's win this next 4 minutes. That was kind of how we were talking in there, and we just kept on talking about getting it out of their ice. They were getting bottled up. They play so hard, and then we were getting some good stops. I mean, I thought Elijah Harkless played so hard. I thought Tanner Groves played so hard. Jalen, I thought Jacob Groves came in, and he's such a big target, and he's a very good cutter. And Bijan found him a number of times, and I thought he gave us a good lift off the bench. I've been talking about the bench. You know, you got Bijan, C.J. Nolan gave you 4 points. Jacob gave you 9, and then Bijan gave you the 5 assists and 4 points. So our bench was crucial, and we've been talking about that in Big 12. Man, you've got to develop that bench, and those guys are really starting to come on.
We got Jesse Crittenden.
Hey, Porter, appreciate your time. You guys made, I think, your final 9 shots from the floor to end the game. Just you talking about trying to get better shots offensively down the stretch. Just what was the difference between your offense and, you know, in the final few minutes of the game?
In the final 2 minutes?
Yeah, the final few minutes of the game.
Well, the final few minutes, they were pressing. And I thought, you know, it was funny because that was the one turnover Bijan had. He went too far and turned it over, and he came running over me. Coach, I was just trying to circle it out. I go, I know, Bijan, you're doing great. You're doing great. But I thought we handled the press. That was the only turnover we had is after we broke it, he went a little too deep instead of circling it out. But I thought we took care of the ball because I've watched Iowa State come back and creep into games because their press is elite. I mean, they heat you up, and I thought we handled that really well the last 2 minutes. I thought Mo had a really nice second half. You know, made some shots. He shot faked and hit that little pull up in our run. Got one to the rim on the run. So he did some different things. He just didn't launch if they were flying. He did a couple things off the dribble. Mo's game off the dribble is really starting to be a factor for us.
Appreciate it, Porter.
We'll go James Hale.
Coach, in your press conference the other day, you talked about offensive efficiency and how good your team is at that. It looked like that really took over the game in the second half. I thought it was pretty good in the first half too, but the second half, you guys were so efficient. You just were getting backdoor buckets and cuts and things like that. Are you happy with how the offense just flowed tonight?
I was, with the exception of the beginning of the second half. You know, from like 18 to 14 or 18 to 15, like when they went on that run. I was other than that. You know, when we got it out and moved it and got it to Tanner going downhill and moved it, I thought we were doing some good things. And I think, you know, for us, there was 2 things. The offensive efficiency, you know, we talk about sharing it, moving it, and right. We do that. I think, but the 2 things we talked about a lot from the Baylor game was offensive rebounding and turnovers. And we didn't give up any second chance points to a very good offensive rebounding team. And they're one of the top turnover teams in the country, and we were below the way we've been the last 4 or 5 games. We were at 12. And so when you have a good, efficient offense, when you're turning it over a lot, you're taking points off the board. Because if it's 7 or 8 possessions that you're not scoring 50% of the time, you're just taking points off the board. So I thought we kept our turnovers low for the most part. I'd like it to be under 10, but 12 is a hell of a lot better than 17, 18, 19.
All right. Thanks, Porter. Congrats.
Thanks.
Go to John Shin.
Yeah, Porter, we're used to kind of seeing you guys win with defense, but we've talked about the offensive efficiency. You guys shoot like 63% tonight, which doesn't happen very often in Big 12 play. Is that just the sign of this team taking another step?
Yeah, it's just, you know, I thought they're understanding what a team, what you're trying to get out of it. I mean, they were really aggressive, and we had to be strong with the ball. And I thought Bijan was really getting the ball moving. I thought we did it in the first half. You know, when we were, you know, they went on a little run at the end of the first half, but when we were fresh, we were getting the ball moving. It's all about that, spacing and ball movement, you know, and into what we're doing. When the ball kind of stops and is just getting pounded, that's when we're not good. When we get the ball moving and popping, and when we get our cuts into the game, because I think we're a good cutting team, and that's when our offense is the most efficient. And I thought, you just look at the plus-minus thing. I mean, Bijan's in there. He's plus 25 when he was on the floor because he really got the ball popping.
Well, Colton Soley.
Hey, Porter, I just want to ask you about the specific sequence in the second half when Bijan found CJ for that layup. How did that kind of help flip the switch in the game?
I thought Bijan had a really nice catch on that too. I thought they got confidence that we were, when we get it out and get the ball moving, that we can score. And Iowa State does that to you. They don't let up. They don't let up. And here's what else they don't let up. They don't let up cutting. There is a hard of cutting offensive team that we played. I mean, they really cut hard, and there's a reason why they're this good. And I thought, I really liked that we kept on guarding possession by possession, even though when they took that lead. Like I said, CJ, Jacob, Bijan, those three guys off the bench gave us a tremendous lift. 2 freshmen and a sophomore.
Yeah, Porter, and just to follow.
2 freshmen and a sophomore.
And just to follow up, you decided to go with Bijan over Goldwire down the stretch. Was that just due to him being the hot hand, or?
Yeah, it was going. Bijan was, he was in a great rhythm. I kept on asking him, Bijan, because he was looking exhausted, because I didn't want him going 1 or 2 minutes too long, because that's when sometimes you get a turnover. And he just kept on saying, no, I'm fine. And so I just kind of wrote it. Sometimes as a coach, you just got to feel it. And he was feeling it. And we just kind of went with that hand. Jordan's a big part of what we do. He's going to be a huge part of what we do. He's a big reason why we are where we are, unequivocally. It was just one of those things where Bijan had it going, and I had the feel, just left him in.
Thanks, Porter.
Yep.
Go to Eric Bailey.
Hey, Porter, on a crazy day in the Big 12, we talk about this league being a grind. When you see Texas and Kansas losing on the road, how important was it for you to hold serve with a home game against a quality opponent like Iowa State?
I did see that Texas or Oklahoma State had won, but I didn't even see the end of the Texas Tech. I was in game mode, so I didn't know that until you just said it. So I don't really think about holding serve. It's just not in my. I was just thinking about what do we got to do to Iowa this game. Now that it's over, hell yeah, I'm glad we held serve. But I don't even think like that before the game. I'm just totally locked in on the game plan of what we got to do on both ends of the floor to win.
Thanks, Porter. Appreciate it.
Got time for a few more for Coach. We'll go to Justin Martinez.
Hey, Porter, appreciate taking time to talk to us. Congrats on the win tonight.
Yep.
Just want to ask you about Isaiah Brockington. 16 points in that first half, a lot of early buckets. And in second half, 4 points, 2 for 7 shooting. Just what was the difference in terms of guarding him from that first half compared to the second?
You know what? I look back, and I think they had one middle cut that he got, and he got one in transition. Other than that, he hit really good shots. You got to tip your hat to him. EJ was all over him. Like 3 or 4 shots that he hit, EJ was all up in him, and that's big-time shots by him. And you just got to say, keep guarding him like that. And, he is an elite scorer. He's an elite shot maker, and he plays hard. And I thought EJ just really took the challenge in every single time, fortunately he was 2 for 7 the second half. But that kid is a really good, really, really good. 9 for 15, 20 points, 4 rebounds. That kid is, he's everything that we thought he was on tape.
Appreciate it.
We'll go last one for Coach Joey Helmer.
Yeah, Porter, I think they shot like 8 for 17 from the 3-point line, but most of those were early in the game and early in the second half. And when you guys made that run down the stretch, I think they had won the rest of the entire game there. Do you feel like your closeout defense was better and running them off the line down the stretch compared to early in the game?
Yeah, I got to give him. Tyrese Hunter and Trey Jackson, they're 2 points. They made 6-3 between them. Trey, you got to give him. They had a guy step up off the bench too. He was 4 for 7 from 3, and Tyrese was 2 for 3, and so they had their 2 point guards, hit 6 threes. So you got to tip your hat to them. But I thought we were guarding. they got us on a handful of cuts. They got us on some face cuts, but they run elite offense. I mean, the way they cut. But I was pleased during that stretch. We really kept on defending. We got some key stops. I thought Tanner had a really good block shot in a run where it kept the run going. He came out of nowhere and he blocked that shot. We haven't had rim protectors. And for him to come in and block that shot, that was a really good play to keep the run alive.